how to love unconditionally. It's a hard thing, and it's a very beautiful thing. Humans are capable of it, I know. But we also have quite a powerful opponent inside of our head. It looks like it's outside of us. It looks like it is the partner, it is the parent, it is the child, it is the government, or the teacher, or the neighbor, or the person that drives way too hard. But it isn't that. Because I know you are currently unconditionally loving about things that maybe 10 years ago was truly bothering you. While the things stayed the same, you changed and you became more open towards loving. So let's have a conversation about that. I didn't know how to live in my heart because my mind was so active, so active. And there was one friend of mine that actually said, we were dating at the time, and only I think the second date she said, "Sorry, Philip, I cannot continue. You're an amazing guy. I see it in you, but your heart is closed." And I was like, wow, never heard that before. Can you teach me how to open my heart? And she showed me that same day. And it felt so different. First of all, when I connected with my heart, I felt there was a lot of concrete. I felt there was a wall of resistance, of like, But then I just stayed with it. And my voice started changing. Some people say that they become very peaceful for my voice, but that's truly because I started really coming and talking from a different place. Not caring anymore what I need to say or what I think I need to say to be liked, to be seen, or whatever the ego wants me to, but just from a place of being here. But then way more things started changing in my life that I couldn't comprehend. And as soon as the heart is able to open, you start also connecting the higher centers. But it was just the beginning of something that opened here and opened here and opened here. And with every opening came just a new dimension to life. But that still didn't make me love unconditionally. That was a big beginning to just make sure that you feel here. Sometimes the most cheesy sayings are actually the most deep and the most true. Things like one love or your home is where your heart is. We're first like, oh my God, that's such a cheesy thing on the wall. Look at that Airbnb being cool. And then once you truly start making your heart your home, such an expression can have so much depth once you start experiencing the truth in it. So let's experience a little bit of truth in this video. Let's, if you can, relax. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. And exhale and allow the chest to open and relax. And inhale and allow the breath to be followed. Follow the breath with your focus from the nostrils to the throat into the heart space. And exhale and try to stay there if you can. And inhale and bring even more of that air into the heart space. And exhale and relax into this. if you're very active in the mind like I was, I have a great little technique that still helps me to this day whenever I'm getting too mental or when I drink a coffee, that puts me into my heart space very consistently. Now, this visualization has to do with me seeing a little version of me working here in my prefrontal cortex, trying to arrange all things, like as if it's in a control room, trying to arrange all kinds of things. And it moves and it says, hey, you can have a break. You can say, you can visualize that mini version right now in your head. You can say, you can have a break. Let's relax into the heart space. And you can imagine it turning around and putting the control panel on autopilot and moving into the middle of your brain. And into the middle of your brain, there is an elevator. And this elevator will go all the way from the spine up and down. So you press the elevator button and the elevator arrives and opens their doors, and this little version of you steps into the elevator and presses the heart. And door closes and the elevator goes down. It goes down from the brainstem to the throat. From the throat it enters into the chest area and all opens up. And then it really arrives at the center of your chest, and there the elevator stops. You feel the organ of the heart beating on your left. And the doors open. And this little version of you can relax here and explore here. Just notice how it feels. Has there been a temperature change? Has there been some sensations that are different? I most of the time feel warmer when I'm here, and I feel more connected with the other parts of my body, my arms, legs. I start feeling pulsations while I stay here. And it's a big space, and it's comfortable. I had a conversation with a great friend, and we described it as a lounge. We actually recorded that conversation. It will be online soon. We experienced it as a very smooth, comfortable lounge. Very relaxed, very warm, like a spa maybe. See if you can stay here with your awareness. See if you just can watch the continuation of this video from this place. And it might be difficult. Your little controller wants to maybe go up again to the mind and start controlling again. But for right now, let's experience truth. Let's experience love. And what better place to experience love than to truly move to the place inside of your body that resonates with the love frequency. You're right here. Now, for me in my own journey, I needed 2 experiences that showed me what conditional love, unconditional love, truly means. And also the difference, what it truly means with conditional love and unconditional love. The first one was young in my 20s, when I tried MDMA for the first time. And I'm not promoting any drugs. But what it did for me is it put me in a very highly loving state. A state loving towards myself and loving towards others. And I was just, everybody that I saw, I was appreciating so much that they were there, and like all the judgment disappeared. It was so beautiful. I needed that experience because I was already meditating at the time. And I asked myself after that, can I experience this sober? And it is possible. I can now tell you that you don't have to use drugs to experience these states. And I'm not promoting them. In my own journey, it was of great benefit. It was a shortcut, I would say. A temporary shortcut, but then because I experienced it once, I knew it was available. And I just became very curious in experiencing it sober. But the other experience was even more profound, and that doesn't need to take any substances, and it is always based in unconditional love. So let's take a breath and go back into this heart space. The second thing that I found on my path is something called the Akashic Records. Now, for them, unconditional love is probably even a lower frequency of what they are experiencing. Their love is so high in their vibration, we cannot experience that on earth. And they cannot experience our emotions on earth. The beings in the Akashic Records are simply a couple octaves higher in vibration. So they are living in their octave, we are living in our octave. But whenever I connect with my human troubles and with my human things, within the first moments, they are faded away because I notice immediately, oh my God, this is just me holding up my human story. And I feel their vibration and I feel how much they love us and how much they love the world. It's even probably their base frequency. They cannot help it. They're just so close to the light. They cannot help but to love everything all the time. But many people don't know that they have a direct connection to it. And luckily it stumbled on my path, and luckily that connection is now allowing me to share it openly. I became almost a missionary with the mission to make the Akashic Records normal. Like, I want to make this normal for people. I want to let people know that everybody has a straight connection to unconditional love and higher vibrations and all of the wisdom of their soul. Now, I know not everybody is ready for such a thing. Unfortunately, everyone is on their own journey. That's also unconditional love, to be loving of their own journey. So I know that it will not be available for everybody in this lifetime. I'm okay with that. But I'm sure that eventually every soul will get to know this place. And souls that are ready, especially souls that are here to create a more loving world, it is time to make sure you have practices in place that always connect you to that. Otherwise, life can take over. Life can take intense forms. It can become, like you probably know right now, the world is going into a higher order, and it can only go to a higher order by moving into chaos. And to be able to hold the frequency of unconditional love while maybe your partner is watching the news and is angry about what the president is doing, and somebody else is stocking up all of their food because they think the next nuclear war is happening. It's such a rare frequency to actually stay in the field of unconditional love. And for me, the Akashic Records was that and is that. They give me all the time this point of staying there. So if you feel called to create a practice of unconditional love, you can join me. in school.com/akasha. I'm offering right now this knowledge for free, but this video is not about that. This video is actually about experiencing unconditional love right now. And what the records have told me again and again is that we cannot expect the world to become a reflection of love if we are internally still fighting. So let's take a big deep breath and go back to this heart place, this warm, loving, smooth, juicy, delicious energy in this place. Let's go there. And I would love to ask you, what have you been fighting with inside of your mind? Because most fights are actually happening inside of the mind, right? You might be completely furious about a person, but you're still smiling on the outside, right? Let's be real. So, what is that? And if you have it, see if you can stay here and unconditionally love the whole situation. And I really love a step-by-step progress in that. The first step is awareness. Just awareness that it is happening, right? Like, oh wow, I actually have been fighting with something or someone in my mind lately. Awareness. Okay, let's just acknowledge that it is there. You don't have to approve of it, but at least acknowledge that it is there. I have been fighting. Let's take a big deep breath. And the next step in this creating of unconditional love is acceptance. And acceptance is different than awareness, because acceptance is not only knowing that it is there, but also removing your resistance around it. Acceptance is different than approval. Approving is saying, yes, this is good. It's not this, that's very different. Approving is a doing and a judgment. Acceptance is a non-doing, a letting go of the resistance. Like, okay, I have been fighting. I see it now, and I'm not resisting that I have been doing that. I'm just seeing it without any resistance. Let's take a big deep breath. The final step is embrace. Now your mind starts maybe picks a fight with me right now and say, what? You want me to embrace this? This is not, this cannot happen anymore. I want to have this out of my life. Blah, 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 blah. I know ego. I know mind. I know you very well. I don't know your mind very well, but I definitely know mine very well. But give me a better option than to embrace. And might not be able to immediately to embrace, but embrace comes from a place of understanding. So you definitely understand where you come from. If you also are able to see where the other is coming from, and also being able to see what this current fight in your mind is giving you, which awareness is giving you, which lessons it is giving you, when you start to understand, like, oh wow, my mind was actually fighting because of this and that. and I was seeing this person as the enemy because that person had that path and blah blah blah, and you start understanding it, you will start noticing that even that fight, or whatever you have been fighting, has been something that was strengthening a part of you, was developing something in you, was making something clear to you, which are all beautiful things. And once you're able to understand what the true energy here is giving you, it's a lot easier to embrace. So maybe you can ask these questions. What can I understand from what is currently happening in my mind? That's right. And breathe. You're doing amazing. And if you can embrace it right now, incredible. If it's not the time yet, no problem. This is a new state of being. And most of us will, when daily life kicks back in, revert back to the mind. Well, because that is controlling everything and let's make sure everything is arranged. But what if there is a way higher form of control, of love, of peace available to you that actually allows you to stay here? And can you give that higher power, that higher level of organization, can you give it that power over your life for you to stay in your heart, and for that to say, okay, I trust, I give up my control. If we truly want a world where unconditional love is the main frequency, it's time to stop the fights and love all of it right here. It will not be able to come true while your own frequency is still in the frequency you actually want to move away from. We need to have this honest, present look into our own beings and ask ourselves, am I truly an embodiment of the new world? Or am I actually just fighting the old system in my mind all the time? Fighting people that do not believe in spirituality all the time? The time is now. And you have the ability to move yourself back into here again and again and again. And you will start loving your life in a way, no words, but definitely a beautifully felt experience. So, go, dear one. Have an awesome life. Live from the heart. Flow into this life. There is so much magic waiting for you. And thank you for being present with me here and moving into the heart with me. Just quickly notice, do you feel any difference between right now, your current state, and how you felt before you watched this video? Is there a little bit more space, a little bit more warmth, a little bit more relaxation, a little bit more peace? Then please share this with somebody who you wish peace, who you wish warmth, who might need this moving back into the heart. I love you very much. I'm here with you on this journey. Let's make this place, this world, this beautiful Mother Earth an absolutely awesome place. And let's do it right here. Much love.